Good afternoon, students. Hope that everybody is fine. Okay. What about your previous chapter's work? Complete it as early as possible. At the end of that chapter, transport of food and minerals in plants, some exercises are given. So complete that exercises also. That is, tick the correct answers and fill in the blanks. And complete that exercises in your book. The questions which I sent through Google assignment, write down the question answers in your register. Okay. So today we are going to start with a new chapter, that is ecosystem. What is ecosystem? Ecosystem means all the interacting organisms in an area together with its non-living components, that is togetherly called an ecosystem. Or ecosystem means the total living and non-living component of the environment present in a particular area. Living components are biotic factors and non-living components are abiotic factors. That is why there is an interaction of biotic components and abiotic components. All the activities of an organism are influenced by its environment. Here in this picture itself that you can see, living organisms interaction with the non-living component. Non-living component here water, air, soil. And living components are plants and animals. So that is today's topic, that is ecosystem. So in an ecosystem, there are two main components, biotic components and abiotic components. Biotic components are plants, animals and microorganisms. Abiotic components are air, water, soil and climatic factors such as sunlight, temperature, humidity and wind. So these are the factors in an ecosystem, that is components of an ecosystem. So once again, what is an ecosystem? Ecosystem means the total living and non-living component of the environment present in a particular area. That is called an ecosystem. Now, the biotic components of an ecosystem. All the living organisms in an ecosystem, that is plants, animals and microorganisms, they form the biotic component. These biotic components are producers, consumers and decomposers. So these producers, consumers, decomposers, that they interact with the non-living component of the ecosystem, that is clear in this picture. So that type of an interaction, that is in this chapter, that is ecosystem. So in case of biotic components, the first part, that is the producers. So producers are green plants. Producers are also called autotrophs. Why they are called producers? Because they can prepare their own food. That is the reason they are called autotrophs also. Auto means self. Self preparation of food material through the process of photosynthesis. Only green plants have the ability to use solar energy for the preparation of food material. So during photosynthesis, they are using solar energy, water, sunlight, chlorophyll and carbon dioxide. That is the reason green plants, they are called producers. So producers are autotrophs that convert energy entering the ecosystem so other organism can use it. They convert solar energy into food material as in the form of glucose. Then the glucose that is consumed by other animals and changing one form of energy it into another form. and these producers add biomass to an ecosystem. So that is the importance of producers in an ecosystem. The second group of biotic components, they are consumers. Consumers are living organisms that cannot make their own food but consume either plants or other animals. These consumers are also called heterotrophs. All animals are consumers. Depending on the type of food material they consume, they are of different category. Some of them they are herbivores, some of them they are carnivores, some are omnivores. So this is the category of organisms depend on their food habits. The first group, they are the herbivore. Herbivores are the animals that eat green plants. They are called herbivores or they are called primary consumers. Many examples are in this category. A rabbit is an example. Horse, elephant, goat, they are all examples for herbivores. The next category, they are carnivores. Carnivores are the animals that they eat other living animals for living animals. They are called carnivores or they are called secondary consumers. Many example, tiger, lion, leopard, they are all examples. The next category of organisms depend on their feeding habit, they are omnivores. These are the animals that they eat both plants and animals. Many examples are from this picture. Dog, pig, hen, crow, such type of animals. And another category of animals, they are the scavengers. Here in this picture that you can see the hyena. Hyena is an animal that it is a carnivore and feed on dead animals, and that is why they are called scavengers. Another scavenger that you can see, that is vulture. It's a carnivore that feed on dead animals. Now, the next group of biotic factors in an ecosystem, they are decomposers. So decomposers, they are bacteria and fungi. Here in this picture that you can see, decomposers, they are bacteria and fungi. This bacteria and fungi or decomposers that they helps to increase the fertility of soil through decomposition process. Decomposers are responsible for converting complex organic material of dead animals or plants into simple organic matter through the process of decomposition, and they release mineral substances into the soil. That is why they increase the fertility of the soil. And as in that way, the other plants, they are absorbing these nutrients from the soil. So that is why decomposers, they helps to increase the fertility of the soil. These decomposers, they are also called nature scavengers. They help in recycling nutrients. So the biotic factors in an ecosystem are producers, consumers, and decomposers. Now the next category of an ecosystem, they are abiotic factors. The abiotic factors that include air, water, soil, then sunlight, temperature, humidity, wind. These are the abiotic factors. Non-living things in the environment are called abiotic components. And each of this has a specific influence on the life process of all the organisms. Air. So the first one, that is air. All living organisms on earth need air to live. So air is a mixture of gases: nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, hydrogen, and many other gases. So this Oxygen is used by animals for respiration. Carbon dioxide used by green plants for the process of photosynthesis. Nitrogen present in the air used by microorganisms changing it into nitrites and nitrates, and it is used by plants for their growth. Like that way, various components of air that it is useful. Gases in the atmosphere are cycled, and there is a balance is there in the air with the help of plants and animals. Air helps in regulating the temperature on earth. It absorbs excess solar heat also. So that is why helps to maintain temperature in our environment. The next factor, that is water. Here you can see in this picture water hyacinth plant. This water hyacinth is a free water floating plant, and its habitat is water. And with water, the water is one of the very important component. Various metabolic activities are taking place in animals' body and plant body with water. 70% of our body weight is because of water. And plants, for the process of photosynthesis, they need water. And in animals' body, various metabolic activities like digestion, excretion, circulation, all that which occurs with the medium water, with water as the medium. That is the reason water is one of the very important abiotic component of an ecosystem. The another abiotic component which is important in an ecosystem, soil. All life on earth that depends on soil, because it provides a medium for the growth of plants. Many animals, they are living in soil. They are making burrows and living inside. Soil is also home for a variety of living organisms like bacteria and fungi. Many worms are living inside. Rodents, they are making burrows and living inside. And these organisms are keep on adding minerals and nutrients to the soil. That is why the fertility of the soil is increasing. That is why soil is one of the very important abiotic factor. Now, some climatic factors are also very important in an ecosystem. They are sunlight, temperature, humidity, and wind. Temperature and sunlight. Sunlight is primary source of light and energy on earth, that is sun. And all the activities of plants and animals, that is depends on solar energy and sun. Green plants make their food in presence of sunlight. Then another one, closing and opening of stomata, germination of seeds. Like that way, many activities in plants. And in case of animals, some of them they are active during night, some of them they are active during daytime. In presence of sunlight during daytime, those the animals they are active, they are called diurnal animals. And some of the animals like earthworm and cockroach, they are active during night, they are called nocturnal organisms. Another abiotic factor, temperature. Living organisms, they can survive in between 0 to 50 degrees Celsius. Different organisms, they can survive in different range of temperature. Many of them, they are living in tropical region. Many of them, they are living in ice-covered polar regions. They can survive because of special adaptations present in such organisms. So that is why temperature is one of the abiotic factor for the interaction between biotic and abiotic components. Another factor is humidity. Humidity means the water content which is present in the atmosphere. Humidity affects the temperature in an area. High humidity reduces the rate of evaporation of water. And another abiotic factor is that wind. The movement of air, that is called wind. Many important functions for this wind or movement of air. that it helps in pollination of flowers, dispersal of seeds and fruits, and the evaporation, that which make much faster when there is a breeze is blowing, and also this makes us feel cooler. Wind helps in dispersing pollution. Smoke and other pollutants are not dispersed due to the lack of wind. They form smog in the atmosphere. So wind also play a major role in the distribution of rainfall in that region. Because of all these reasons, wind can be an important abiotic factor. So these are the main factors, abiotic and biotic factors of our environment or our ecosystem. Today we conclude this topic with the abiotic and biotic factors of our ecosystem. In biotic factors, producers, consumers, decomposers, and in abiotic factors, temperature, humidity, wind, then sunlight, soil, water and air. This much that we completed today, and rest of the part of this chapter we will continue it in the next class. Till then, take care. Thank you.